this is gonna be your review for Love After Lockup, season 3 episode. Not sure. This is Destiny and Sean. Let's talk about Destiny and Sean for a second, okay? So they're on their way to Vegas. They're getting on the plane, and Destiny, poor baby, has never been on a plane before. She's nervous about all of it, going through the airport and flying, and she wants to know what's going to happen. She's nervous as hell, and I'm just so shocked to see how many people have never been on a plane before. And of course they're on their way to Vegas. You know, they get to Vegas and they get to her house, and I mean they get to his house. Sorry, and it's nice. He said he moved to Vegas for a job promotion, and once he got there, everything, you know, he got a nice big house because he wanted her to have some, you know, someplace nice to come to. He said he's lived with 2 other women, the mother of his children, and then some other chick that he said robbed him, and you know, he had nice things to say about her. So his biggest concern is keeping her sober and where he can see her until the court date. He was like, listen, I got a whole lot of money on the line and I just need you to chill out. Like, she has court in 2 weeks. Her thing is, I am in Sin City, baby, and I am going to act a fool. I am going to shop. I'm going to party, drink, all of the above. And he is so nervous, and she's like, listen, I'm gonna need him to calm down. I'm gonna need him to stop tripping because I don't roll like that. I don't like that, you know, and nobody gonna tell me what to do. So it clearly is gonna be an issue. Like, and let's not forget, she seems to prefer women over men. Now what we find out, they end up going out with her, with his friends. We met his friend, I believe his friend from work. That's the guy that we met earlier that told me he was gonna be catfish. Now when he saw Destiny, he was like, okay, you didn't get catfish, like she is really cute. But he is still side-eyeing the whole situation because him and his wife pick up, you know, Destiny's talking, you know, she talked about partying and drinking. She even flirted a little bit with the wife, and you know, she even said, listen, you know, I don't mind if I, you know, pull a little licky, you know, on you. And of course the husband was like, now Destiny explains to us that she considers herself trisexual. Because I will try it. You and your husband, the 3 of us together, like, I'm good. Now, of course, that is not what Sean wants to hear. Sean wants it to be the 2 of them and this great monogamous relationship and live happily ever after. That is not going to happen. We see them end up, she ends up convincing him to let her go out the house. So they end up going out to the little club or whatever. I mean, it wasn't like really a club, it was like more like a bar. And his friend was like, listen, his friend peeped the whole situation. His friend was like, she clearly is on a different page from him. Like, he's ready to settle down, get married, have some kids. She is ready to party, live it up, and enjoy life. And the fact that they have so many secrets from each other is it's just gonna be a problem. Like, she can't be honest with him about her sexuality. He ain't honest with her about how many kids he has in his situation. Y'all already know, like, that's just a recipe. In the best of situations, that's a recipe for disaster. So anyway, we you know, so let's talk about Tyrese and Chandra. Now he is still standing outside the jail in that Blueberry Steve Harvey collection circa 2010 suit, okay, with the matching gators. He gets a call from her. He out there waiting for her, you know, like 2 hours. And y'all know the producers are shady, talking about something. You think you missed her? She's at the bus station. So she's somewhere totally different. Like, the jail and took her to the bus station. So he has to get to the bus station. Now he mad because this is throwing off his timeline. Because he thought he was going to scoop her up, take her back to the hotel, get him a little nookie before he had to get her to the bus station. Because she got to get to the halfway house. That's another one that has to get to their halfway house. So he thought he was going to get himself a little nookie. So that throws his whole timeline off, because by the time he gets to the bus station and she changes her clothes and all of that, they have less than 2 hours for her to get there. So that ain't enough time for them to get back to the hotel and for them to get into a little something, at least. I hope that's not enough time for them to go back. Now what we found out from Miss Chandra, she was not impressed with the blue suit. She thought he was doing a little much. She was nice about it when she told him. She said, I think you might be a little overdressed. But what I do feel like, I do get a pretty decent vibe on for the two of them. The only thing is, though, I did pick up on her comment and talking about how, it's nothing wrong with having a couple of people looking out for you and taking care of you from the outside. And how she's still cool and still friends with them other people. But she did say that she liked Tyrese and they did vibe and, all that good stuff. So, we're going to take it for what it is. But she also is no fool. She know that she know that he loved, the way that she looked and her body and her booty and all that other stuff. Now they do end up going out to eat. And they have that awkward. Remember the first time we met? Oh my gosh, I didn't know if I was going to like you. Oh wow, I was so nervous to meet you. Oh my goodness, but we just clicked, didn't we? Yeah, we did. It was great. But yeah, the whole Tyrese. I don't know, but she said that he looked good and for his definitely for his age, and they showed these pictures of Tyrese at the gym with the muscles and all of that, and I was like, listen, I ain't said nothing about Tyrese not being a nice looking guy. Like that never came out of my mouth. I always thought Tyrese was a nice looking guy. I just wasn't sure about her intentions and the two of them together, but okay. Then we see John and John and Christiana. That he got into the halfway house in time. They made it to the halfway house, and she said, "Hey, I've been to this halfway house 3 times. I already know how I go down up in here. Like I know that there's drugs, and I know that there's this, and I know that there's that. But I'm really trying to do the right thing because I really like John, and I don't want to fuck it up." Now, John actually ends up going out to eat with her mom. Y'all, what the fuck is wrong with John? He proceeds to explain a little bit more about his whole situation. Now, mind you, he got that same shirt on, so I don't know if it's all the same day or he just like that shirt a whole lot. I don't know. He's telling her about how many times he's been married. And he married his first wife, ran off with her cousin while he was still married to her. And he's laughing like it's funny. Ain't nothing funny about that shit. And if that's how you introducing yourself to me, I'm not impressed. Then he said, and she said, why, Cristiano, like, why, he said, well, I think we have a lot in common because, I have a criminal record too. And, I just think that we just have so much in common. Is that supposed to make her mama, like you and be endeared to you? And, she is not impressed. She is not feeling it, and she is not happy about it. I don't think she's happy about Mr. John. I don't think she's going to be very supportive or encouraging of this relationship. She ain't feeling it. And I'm with you, because John, something ain't right with him. Something don't, nah. Something don't make sense about Mr. John. Maurice and Jessica, child. Maurice and Jessica. So they are still stuck in California. Jessica's miserable. Maurice is miserable. She's miserable because, she ain't trying to be stuck. They've been there for, I think they said they've been there for like 5 days now, 7 days or something like that. And I was like, damn, y'all must have some good little money that y'all still eating and traveling and all of that. Even though you're staying at the cousin's house, which of course she feels totally out of place at the cousin's house. She says she feels isolated there. Nobody really talks to her and all of that. But you just have constant resting bitch face. Like, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to speak to you either. Because you look like you don't want me there. You look like you turning up your nose. You look like you think something stinks. Okay? So I probably, if I walked up in that apartment and I saw you sitting over there in the corner, I probably wouldn't give you more than a hey girl and keep it moving too. Because you don't look like you are inviting to the situation. And Maurice is no fool. He knows it. He not feeling it either. Um, Maurice wants to leave, but he wants to leave for different reasons. He wants to leave because he know it ain't shit about to pop off positive for him in Compton. He knows that he needs to get away. He needs to. He talking about something. I want to meet my new mom and dad. I don't think your new mom and dad want to meet you. But that's another conversation that we'll deal with at another time. He talking about something. I want to see my house. I want to see this. Listen, Maurice. I know that under the law it's yours, but ain't none of that shit yours. Okay, you have been in jail for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. None of that belongs to you, boo. Now you got a wedding ring, so I know the law says that it does, but let's be clear. None of that shit. But again, I struggle with this because I 120% understand how he feels, and I support the brother. I support him wanting to, get out of the area and get to his new beginning, so that he can stay in a positive space and not make bad decisions and not fall into bad habits. But I'm gonna also be honest. I'm sort of seeing some things from Mr. Maurice that that's kind of throwing up a red flag for me. And again, I don't know if it's the institutionalization. Is that a word? I don't know if it's from that. Like when they were out to eat and the waitress came over and Jessica was like, I need a few more minutes. And he was like, well, I'm ready to order. And she was like, you're not gonna. Like that's a small thing, but that goes back to being considerate. That goes back to respect and how you know what I'm saying? It's a small thing. Like it's not a major thing, but again, as a woman, that would turn me off. I'd be like, what? Like if it were a first date and a man did that on the first date, it would be a second date. Because to me, that's a warning sign for more to come in my mind. So they're at lunch, dinner, wherever they are, and they're snapping at each other. Like he's telling her she got an attitude. She's telling him, I don't have an attitude, but what we gonna do? Like, I don't want, I'm ready to go. Like, I feel like she's trying to not say the words, I don't want to be here. But it's clear to both of them that she don't want to be there. But he don't want to be there either. So what ends up happening, like I said, they're snapping at each other. And so he said, and he even got a little loud or whatever. So then he finally was like, listen, I'm leaving. I ain't staying here. I'm out. And she was like, you can't do that. Like, you can't do that. You're gonna risk going back to jail. And her thing is he got 2 strikes. That could be his 3rd strike and he'd be in jail for 20 years. Like that doesn't even make sense. And again, I understand Maurice's frustration, but here's my problem. So they end up leaving. Well, at least the way it looks on the show is that they end up leaving and going to Vegas, and like the last thing we see is them getting ready to. They're an hour away from the Vegas line. I mean the Nevada line. So they're technically. He ain't violated yet because he haven't left the state of California. But the minute he crosses over and leaves the state of California, then there's a problem. He gonna tell her. She was like, "We can't do this. We can't do this." And he gonna tell her, "If you love me, you won't turn this car around." No, if she loves you, she will turn that fucking car around. Because all it's gonna take is for you, your parole officer, to come by where you supposed to be staying. You can't say, "All right, I'll be there in 4 hours." Like it's not like you moved 30 minutes away or 40 minutes away. You are 4 hours from where you're supposed to be in a whole nother state. You don't get to say, "Oh, I'll be back in a couple of hours." Child. And last but not least, why y'all acting like y'all not doing a show? Why y'all acting like ain't nobody gonna see this? Like you are on TV saying you have every intention of violating your parole. That has got to be the dumbest shit I have ever seen. That just don't even make good sense to me. Okay. Last but not least, we see Quaylen and Shayla, whatever. Listen, these two are getting on my nerves already. First of all, I don't need to know how many times y'all had sex, because I already told you he didn't take a shower. He stink and he dirty, and you stink. You must be dirty too, because how you ain't make him wash the jail off of him before y'all had sex all day and night? Whatever. Then we see her, on the way home to bring her home to meet the, well, he's already met the daughter, but to meet the mom, and he was like, I'm looking forward to meeting my moms, and he got a little goldfish for the daughter, like one of those little goldfish you get at the fair, at the little carnival, and it died like in 2 days. One of them. It's already half dead when they get there, and he go to meet the little girl. He go to hug the little girl. Y'all know what that little girl said to him? You stink and you need a shower. see, that's embarrassing as hell. That little girl told you you stink and you need a shower. Her mama didn't smell it. Her mama didn't think he needed a shower. But the big thing with this was he sat down and talked to her mom, and the mom was like, I need to know what your intentions are, like what's the plan, what we doing, what's this gonna look like, booda booda booda, bada bada bada. And he was like, I understand where you're coming from, but we want to take this slow. I love her and I want her in my future, but we got to take this slow. I'm just getting out. Being around somebody all day, every day is different than talking on the phone. And I'm thinking, oh shit. And she over there in her feelings because she was like, well, before he came home, he was saying he was trying to marry me within 3 months of getting home. Yeah, because he was in jail. He out now. His mama done got in his head a little bit. His mama done hit him with a little yang, 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 yang over here too. And I was just like, okay, girl. Like, I hope you see what's going on. I hope you see what I see. You feel what I feel, because I feel like he's backing up a little bit. That doesn't mean that he don't still want to spend time with her and be with her, whatever. But I feel like he's realizing that he's got some other priorities that he needs to take care of before they decide to, get married and make this a whole permanent thing. And what the mother told him was, listen, y'all are adults and y'all do y'all own thing as adults. But my problem is this little girl. Because this little girl, she knows you, she loves you, and if you walk away, you're going to break her heart. Like my daughter, she grown, she making dumbass decisions, that's on her. But that's my grandbaby, and I got my eye on you. But she did say that she felt a little bit better talking to him, because she realizes that maybe he understands that they need to take things a little bit slow, and he's not as impulsive or as, gung-ho to get married and stuff as maybe she thought he was. So that's making her feel a little bit better. Anyway, y'all, that's what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments.